So we're joined by Arif, and I'm sure we're going to get to that on the line very, very soon. Just want to say salam alaikum to all of our listeners in Peterborough 106.2 FM and also in Luton, Inspire FM 105.1. Thank you so much for joining us on today, what is going to be a super Sunday. Arif, are you looking forward to the games this afternoon?
I'm looking forward to it. With Image, I forgot to tell you, mate, we've got a guest as well.
We've got a guest. Who's our guest?
Yeah.
Champion is away.
I have absolutely no idea who that is. Who is that?
That's Ahmed.
Ahmed. Oh, Ahmed, very, very pleased to welcome you on the show. And you know what? You'll forever be remembered on Salaam Radio or Salaam Sports for your comment about how Manchester United spent billions of pounds and they've gotten nowhere near it. So you're always welcome. Friend of the show, Ahmed Mustafa, thank you so much for joining us. And do we also have Sadat Akram, are you there?
Assalamualaikum, yes, I am here.
Walaikum Assalam. Do you know what? We're having the same issue as we had last week, where I think only one of you two can be on at the same time. But we will try that again. It looks like I've clicked air on you, and it looks like we've dropped the call with Arif. But welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Sadat. How are you? Are you looking forward to Super Sunday? Are you looking forward to all the big games going on this afternoon?
Yes.
Who are you following? Obviously, you're following Manchester United. What do you think? Manchester United away to Leicester. That looks like a straight
difficult game. I've got more hopes on Wolves beating Chelsea.
Oh, so you think Wolves beat Chelsea, and then it doesn't matter about your result?
Yeah, because United just have to match Chelsea's result, don't they? Either win, and then it doesn't matter what Chelsea do. But if they match Chelsea's result, then they're through.
Yeah, because you're a point ahead, right? Are you on 63? So. Chelsea and Leicester are 62.
And they've got I think we're on the same points. We're on goal difference ahead.
Oh right, okay. And is it significant? Like you don't need to, if you lose 1-0 and they lose 5-0. Oh, sorry, you lose 5-0, they lose 1-0. It wouldn't be enough to change it, would it?
No.
Excellent. Okay. Well, just waiting for Arif to come back. But before he does, I just want to remind all of our listeners that you're live on Salaam Sports. You can call in to the show, share your thoughts, ask us any questions about any possible permutations. I've got this fantastic flowchart, particularly with the Villa situation, because the Villa situation is very complicated. So if you want to call in and ask any questions, the number here is 01733 133. You can text in 07411 191062. You can tweet. Can you remember the tweet? Can you remember the Twitter handle? Sadat? I'll put you on the spot again. At Salaam Radio.
At Salaam Radio 1062.
There we go. And email studio@salaamradio.co.uk. So get your calls in, get your texts in, get your tweets in, guys. Let us know if you've got any questions for us on the program today. But before we go into the football, we've got a dialing tone here.
Yeah, I thought it was just my phone then.
Arif, are you back online?
I'm back online now.
And Sadat, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. We got rid of the other one.
Excellent.
No, I'm still here as well.
So Ahmed made sure he was going to stay on by sharing a line with Arif. So if we cut Ahmed off, we're cutting Arif off, and that's not happening. So so he's going to be with us.
Good effort.
He's going to be with us for the rest of the show. Great news. Let's crack on then. First thing I wanted to bring up and talk about was the third test for England versus Windies. Going pretty well so far. Sadat, what's the latest?
Well, I think when we last on the air, there was still a game going on, wasn't there? England had won, or had they already won the...
England had won the second test to make it 1-1 and made it interesting for the third one.
Yeah, but it's all going towards England now. It's as predicted before. I think it was a surprise, though, the fact that West Indies won the first game. But West Indies are 197 all out.
Yep.
To the 369 for England, and England currently in the second innings are 49 for 0, which is a lead of 221.
221 lead. That's healthy, isn't it?
And it's the third of, so it's healthy. So they'll probably back all the way today. Yeah.
Well, there is. I mean, the weather is not going to be friendly, is it? It's day 3, so plenty of time. Yep. But tomorrow is expected to be a complete washout. So they're not expecting any play at all tomorrow.
Really? In that case, probably tea time today then.
Yeah, really, I think they need to get cracking and just put a score on the board and give them maybe 10, 15 overs before the end of today.
That's what they did in the second test, didn't they?
What's that, Arif, sorry?
Stokes opened up, didn't he, last time? I don't know if Stokes is opened up again this time.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, they left Stokes out. They did the normal opening two. I forget the new fella's name. He was on a pair. He got a duck in the first innings and he went out. So who's currently in bat now? So that
Burns at 19 and Sibley 22.
Sidley got a duck in the first, didn't he? So yeah, they put them out. Sidley's a bit of a slow batsman. He goes at one pace. So there was thinking that they could potentially speed up. But they've got a nice 50 now. They've got a 220 lead. So they could potentially just go all guns blazing now for the next 10, 15 overs and just take it to 350, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they're taking their time. And they're just under 70 balls, Burns, for his 19. So he's going slower than Sidley, who's used 63 balls for his 22 runs. So they seem to not to be in much of a rush at the moment.
Sure.
So I think that I'll be surprised if they declare them, to be honest. Just looking at the scorecard itself, it doesn't seem like they're in much of a rush. I think they might chance it, the fact that they got them all out the last day previously.
Yeah, and
it was a pretty easy victory at the end. The last. So
it was a collapse really from West Indies, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think the top 3 or 4 in West Indies are pretty. Braithwaite's obviously very good, and I think if you take him out, then the West Indies are struggling.
Their captain's got his thumb in some ice. Is that still the case? Has he recovered a little bit? He took a knock, didn't he?
So the question's for you, buddy.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see how
not being in the studio.
Yeah, it's difficult. Sorry, I should put a name on it. But I think the big story for this Test match for me is Stuart Broad, because he's kind of just rolled back the years and he's put on a performance like he's looking like one of the best bowlers in the world right now. 6 wickets in the first innings, 3 away from his 500th. So we're hoping he gets that in the second innings. But yeah, I mean, this is the best he's bowled since the Ashes series.
And I think if I just interrupt him there, he also got the third fastest 50, didn't he?
Oh, at the end of the first innings for England, yeah.
Yeah,
he absolutely hit them all around the park and really took the wind out of Windy's sails, didn't he? See what I did there?
Wind of Windies. There's another. What is the trophy, please? A question for all 3 of you cricket fans. What is the trophy they're playing for? Begins with a W, I know.
I have no idea.
W.
No, Sadat?
Is it the Wisdom Trophy?
Oh, well done, Arif. It is the Wisdom Trophy. Yes, I knew it began with a W. 1 point to Arif.
So Wisdom Trophy. So you got the Wisdom Annual, don't you? That's like the cricketing Bible that they publish once a year. Yeah. But I'm just thinking, why would they be playing for the Wisdom Trophy if it's just between these 2 teams? Because that kind of covers the world of cricket, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think guessed it, to be honest with you. So.
Is it just a trophy that they always play between these 2 teams?
Yeah, I think it's been going for decades.
The Ashes, isn't it? With the Australians, the Ashes, and then with West Indies, the Wisdom, and with Pakistan, it's just a matter of getting a lot of crowds in.
Pakistan is just
Another question, Imtiaz, your favourite West Indian player of all times? Mine was Viv Richards, and probably still is.
Okay, mine is one of 2. Viv Richards was amazing, but I used to love watching Curtly Ambrose when he used to get fired up. Because you had Ambrose and Walsh. You had Ambrose and Walsh, but Ambrose just had that aggression, and he just had
you want to take your head off.
Exactly. But the other one, a little bit unconventional.
Lara, but I think Lara's got to be there.
Well, I was going to say Dujon. The extravagant wicketkeeper come batsman for Windies. He always used to just make me laugh.
I think Brian Lara has to go ahead because the fact is that when he was in the team towards the end of his career, it was going down with West Indies, and he carried them so much.
Yeah, he reminds me of a cricket version of Stephen Gerrard.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
No, I think Brian Lara might have won some trophies. I don't know if Gerrard ever did.
Yeah, I used to like Richard Richardson. He used to always bat with that big hat on. Never ever wore a helmet.
Never wore a helmet. Yeah.
And back in the day, it was bodyline and all sorts of good bowling, proper bowling.
Well, just if you're the bowling team bowling to Windies and you see him with no helmet, you could try peppering his head, but then you're going to be batting soon. And they had Ambrose and Walsh, so I think people were pitching it up to him for a very good reason. I think it was a fear of what might happen.
Malcolm Marsh. Is it?
Malcolm Marshall.
Malcolm Marshall, yeah.
Yeah, you had Malcolm Marsh. I don't know if you guys remember when Viv Richards come to the old Herald Sports town.
No.
Do you not remember?
I had my bat signed from him. I can remember it was a Duncan Fernley bat.
I've still got a poster with Viv Richards on.
Yeah.
Wow.
The only sports personality you've not met, Arif.
I can remember. I think I was pretty young, and I just won a cricket bat for my performance in this Deacon school.
This doesn't sound like a true story, Arif.
No, I don't. Guys, I'm looking at him perplexed. Arif and batting and cricket, it just doesn't seem right. But
to be honest, it's actually for my bowling figures, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's for my bowling figures.
Fair play.
The plot thickens.
I remember talking to Viv Richards, and
what about your bowling?
No, you either get
about his batting.
You either get the bat signed, you take a bat, you get the bat signed, or you take a poster.
I took a poster. I had a poster.
I asked him, listen,
do both.
Sign the bat and do the poster. He goes, nah, man, just take the bat, get the bat signed.
Before I bat the rat round your head.
Honestly, if you're looking at legends, I don't think since the day of Viv Richards, the West Indies have produced.
I don't think they will ever have a team of that caliber again.
Yeah, and that's a shame because they really were like powerhouses of world cricket, weren't they?
Man,
when you got, I mean, Viv Richards and possibly Brian Lara, they're the two players that tend to make all-time 11s. They're the only two, I think, that make the all-time 11s from a Windies perspective. Their bowlers, as good as they were, tend to get overshadowed by some of the great Pakistani fast bowlers, and even some of the Australian and South African fast bowlers. Their batsmen, they other than those two that we've mentioned, nobody really stands up. Even some of the more recent batsmen, they've got a lot of charisma and they've got a lot of flair in their batting, but they've just not produced it in terms of the numbers.
I think
over a long period of time.
I think West Indies or Jamaica's got an issue where currently at the moment, because it's so close to the States, there's a lot of baseball, there's a lot of other sports that are taking precedence in. So they've struggled in the last few years, especially trying to get
recruit
cricket going. But it looks like they're not a bad side. Okay, they're going to probably end up losing this Test match, but they're still okay. I think they're up there on their day, and obviously I think they won the World Cup, didn't they? Was it 4 years ago when the women won it as well? So that was
So one day T20 they've got the ability to, but I think I've always said this: the ultimate test of cricket is Test cricket, and that it just feels to me like it's kind of going away from some of the less disciplined nations. I'd say Pakistan are struggling to maintain a high quality Test team. India seem to be okay. England are flourishing. Australia and South Africa, you'd always expect them to flourish. Even New Zealand's become one of the top 4 or 5 Test teams now, whereas New Zealand previously was ranked 8th, 9th.
I think it's all down to money, because I think T20, mainly T20 and the 50 overs, they finish quicker. There's a lot more money being touted about in those sports, especially with the Indian Premier League and with Pakistan as well, with their T20 teams and their tournaments and stuff. And I think they're taking more money, and 5-day Test cricket is actually slowly disappearing. But you're right. England is still there, and they're producing top quality.
Okay.
Pakistan is playing their first Test against England on the 5th of August.
That'll be very interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I'm going to be in Pakistan, so I'm going to be the only English supporter in Pakistan watching it, and I'm really going to wind those Pakistanis up. I love it. I love it when I go over there. And I might even take my England shirt and just wear that around the village. See how that goes down.
You do want to come back, Image?
Have you got an England shirt, Image?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I've got a number of England shirts.
That's very good.
Yeah. England football shirts. I meant, yeah. Right. But yeah, out of Pakistan, I don't think I've ever seen Arif in a Pakistan shirt, other than the one he borrowed when he went to watch Pakistan play, pretending he was like.
No, I've got about.
He's still not giving it back to me.
He's still not giving it back to me. No.
Pakistan top.
Right, let's move on, guys. Big game of football today. Obviously, Super Sunday. All kickoffs at 4:00. All games playing concurrently. The obvious one is Manchester United Leicester. So that I want to come over to you in a little while, and just to get you to brief us on how you're feeling about that and what your chances are. But the other games of interest, obviously, Chelsea have it in their own hands. If they win, they'd have to rely on on Leicester or United. And then the battle at the bottom, wow. I mean, that's as complicated as I've ever remembered it.
West Ham Villa, isn't it?
Yeah,
so West Ham are safe.
Yep.
Villa could stay up.
Villa could lose and stay up, and they could win and go down. That's how messy it is.
It's crazy. But that's what I want last day of the season to be. Exciting.
Yeah, I mean, we wrap up the league in January, don't we? And then we just watch the rest of the clubs battle it out. It's
that's how we do. That's how we do, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult.
Sorry for that. I said we, and I included you in that. I apologise because even none of your greatest Man United teams have ever done this.
I think the question for Sadat and for Bidan as well is going to be: do you think Solskjaer should be sacked if they don't get the top four?
So Bidan will join us after the break. So he will certainly give you an answer to that. Sadat, just before you answer that question, can you just go back to the first one? I mean, how are you feeling about away to Leicester, last game of the season? It's not ideal, is it?
No, it's not ideal. 2-3 games before I've been more confident, to be honest. They're looking a bit tired now in the past few games, and I think he did help by changing the team around at the FA Cup, but obviously it was understandable why he did that.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
I think it was because he thought obviously the top four and the players, they needed a bit of a rest, and they probably did, and they've shown that.
What do you mean they need a bit of rest for that? There's been no football being played. What do you mean they need a rest?
There's been quite a bit of football played.
I don't understand. How they've had a player for 4 months.
Listen, Ahmed, this is United you're talking about. They needed the rest.
Sorry.
So I think, I mean...
I can understand the happiness and, 30 years of wait and planning to win the Premier League in January, and inshallah next 30 years later you'll win it again in January.
Let's not divert. I mean,
it's a good long plan.
Just bringing it back, sorry. So what are your thoughts about going away to Leicester? I mean, Leicester traditionally stronger at home than away. Last game of the season, all to play for. Obviously, you won't have the issue with the crowd because there's still no crowd. But the fact that you've got to go there and get a result, avoid defeat.
Well, I'm more confident in the base because Leicester have to get a result.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit back. So they've both got to get a result in essence, but Leicester more because United again just have to match Chelsea. If Chelsea lose to Wolves, United, I'm not that they'll know the score or anything, but Leicester know the only way that they can guarantee to get in the top four is winning that game. So
sorry guys, do Leicester have to win to get qualification? A draw is not good enough for them.
A draw is not good enough for them because...
a draw is good enough for Man United?
Oh, hang on. Sorry, wait.
I don't know if a draw is good enough for them. It depends on Leicester's result.
Just wait there.
Chelsea's result.
Hold on. Image will sort this out. Go on.
So United are a point ahead of Leicester. So if United draw, United make Champions League. That's fine.
Oh, so a draw is good enough for them, yeah.
Leicester, if they draw, they end up on the same number of points as Chelsea, assuming Chelsea lose. And then it goes to goal difference. But I haven't checked.
Their goal difference is better. Leicester's goal difference is better than Chelsea.
Because Leicester's defence has been incredible, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I think it's...
Because they got rid of Maguire.
Sorry about Had to be done. Had to be done. I saw.
Something had to be done, but I feel like this is an ambush.
No, it's absolutely not an ambush. Don't feel like that's that. Just the other. I mean, the one thing I did see recently on social media is Maguire cost 85 million, and then next to Maguire, there's a picture of 5 Liverpool players that cost 87 million. I don't know if you've seen this, but the 5 Liverpool players that cost 87 million are Van Dijk, Matip, Trent, Robertson, and Gomez.
Yeah.
87 million, and Maguire's cost 85. I couldn't believe that was true, but apparently that's true.
I think it was a panic buy for United.
What's the point?
Yeah, I think it was a panic buy as well.
And
I remember United winning the Premier League with when we were told by a Liverpool so-called
You're talking about history, Sadat.
legend.
When we won it. When did you win it? When's the last time you won it?
I think
It's been a decade since Man United won the league. Stop going on about when.
I think it's been a while. I certainly.
Oh gosh,
it's been 7 years.
Yeah, I certainly can't remember the last time.
I thought it was a decade. It's going to be many more. Yeah. God.
If you thought that was a decade, that must mean Liverpool haven't won it for about 100 years there.
No, Liverpool won it last week.
Yeah.
we won it last week. It's quite recent. Listen,
we
are going into the break soon. So was there any other sports worthy of mention before we talk about?
I saw Tyson. Tyson's coming back in the fight.
Oh yeah, Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
When I saw the name Junior, I thought it's some 30-year-old or 20-year, mid-20s, early 30s. They said they're both in the 50s. I thought, oh, okay, it's one of those exhibition fights.
Yeah, Roy Jones Jr. was a massive champion, one of the silkiest boxers in his day, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was
awesome.
There was also some information about is it Holyfield? He was gonna.
I think Holyfield just looked good in about a 10-second clip. Apparently,
Tyson, wasn't he? And I think
Well, this fight is scheduled in September. I don't know if anyone's read about it. I even saw that.
I read it. Yeah.
Yeah. If there's a cut, then the referee has to stop the fight, and there's no win if anyone gets a cut. And I wasn't sure why that was, to be honest.
Probably because at that age, at that age they probably can't get the medical signed off to compete or contest a genuine title fight, title type fight.
It's more of an exhibition fight, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The other thing I saw was Tyson Fury's dad was calling out Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson started post. Yeah, he was just having a laugh, obviously, but it's just.
I think it was just. I think Tyson Fury's father ain't got a chance, even with if Mike Tyson fought with his legs and his arms tied behind his back. But just while we are on the topic of boxing, one of my favourite boxers of all time, Prince Naseem Hamed, he has 2 sons. One of them looks very, very, very good.
Really?
I think he's he wasn't like his father. He's had any amateur fights, but I see a post the other day by Naseem's son. I think it's called Adam Hamed, and he is supposed to be sensational, lightning hand speed like his father.
Well, I really feel sorry. I always feel sorry for children of superstar boxers because it's very difficult to emulate their fathers. I mean, you got Eubank's son, haven't you? And then you've got, was it Nigel?
Conor Ben.
Yeah, Ben's son as well, going into it. And it's just like, well, your guys were at the top of their sport. And even in the football, where you've got someone like Jordi Cruyff's son, was that Cruyff that played for United for a bit? Decent player, but nowhere near, Johan Cruyff's level, right?
No, definitely not.
And, you've got who's it? Zidane's son, who's going to play in golf for Real Madrid.
You've also got one very Alfie's son, isn't it? The one who's playing at Dortmund at the moment.
Oh, Haaland, yeah. He's probably already excelled or exceeded his father's achievements.
So.
But no, want to watch out for Naseem Hamed's son for sure. The other thing I was going to say is, you know what, this Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight, I mean, it's clearly been driven by money, but it's a bit sad, isn't it? Because you've got like YouTubers calling each other out.
Well, I think.
And getting pay-per-views and, literally raising millions of pounds.
It's not about the art then, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about money. It's like Conor McGregor when he fought Floyd Mayweather. It was all stipulated and conducted by money. Money makes anything happen. Well, almost anything happen. And it's a shame because boxing's an art and a very good art and sport. And when money has always stipulated fights, but it's a shame because I don't really think
and similarly with the
especially
cricket,
with YouTube, especially with YouTubers fighting.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a bit like with the cricket as well, with more money going into the T20 and less emphasis on the Test match version of the game. It does potentially spoil things. You need to be a bit of a purist, but maybe we're just old fashioned. Maybe we're just dinosaurs, and we need to get with the times.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so that is.
I think talking about times also. So that I think the CC Cricket Club has started.
Yeah, we'll pick that up as well, actually, just after the break, because we're going into a break now.
Brilliant.
But plenty to talk to you guys. Thank you for joining us for the first half, and we'll be back in about 3-4 minutes after these adverts to pick up Super Sunday and also CC Cricket. Assalamu alaikum.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
How do we control coronavirus now? Listen to Steph. She's a bus driver.
Now that people are using public transport again, we really need to make sure that we keep each other safe. Passengers need to stay 2 metres apart. If that's not possible, make it at least 1 metre. I want to see everyone wearing face coverings over their mouth and nose unless you've got a good reason not to. And when you get to where you're going, you need to wash your hands. We've still got to play our part.
Stay alert. Control the virus. Save lives.
Peterborough has a fresh new restaurant. Big Mouth on Lincoln Road is now open. Fantastic fresh food, pizzas, gourmet burgers, fried chicken, grilled chicken, wraps and sides. Mouth-watering food at great prices. Come and experience the freshness and taste of our amazing food. On a lunch break, try our Big Mouth lunch special menu from 12 to 4. Fancy our Hot Mouth Big Burger or our Big Mouth Special Pizza? Try us and taste the difference. Eat in, take away or order online at getbigmouth.co.uk for delivery with Just Eat and Deliveroo. We cater for birthday parties, family bookings and events. Follow Big Mouth Lads on Facebook and Instagram. Big Mouth, 349 Lincoln Road, Peterborough, PE1 2PF. Call 01733 20 10 20. We're open 12 till late every day.
What have you missed the most? A haircut? A visit to the shops?
Oh, you look lovely in that.
What about a nice lunch?
Fish and chips, please.
Salt and vinegar with that.
Or an afternoon in a pub garden? Fancy a casual bike ride? Or perhaps something a little more intense? Or maybe you want a relaxing day out. Whatever you've missed, get out there and enjoy it again safely. Find out how at gov.uk/enjoy summer
It's
safely.
Qurbani time again. Who will you trust to fulfill this noble obligation? Each year, UKIM delivers the freshest and finest locally sourced meat to the most disadvantaged orphans, widows and families enjoying Qurbani. Last year, UKIM delivered your Qurbani to over 500,000 living in poverty for as little as £25, and to make this year's Qurbani the best yet, call 0207 387 2157 or visit ukim.org.
This is the moment. A new start. Now the UK has left the EU.
Time for us to get going. To seize new opportunities as we transition to our new relationship.
Get moving.
It's on our hands now.
So we've got to get started.
Truck drivers.
Tech entrepreneurs.
Engineers.
Fishermen.
Farmers. Lawyers. Makers. Holiday makers.
Creators.
Big business. Small business. Travelling for business.
We all need to plan ahead.
Check the guidance. Make the changes. And let's get going.
Sign up now at gov.uk/transition and check, change, go for the UK's new start.
मेरा नाम मुकद्दस है और कोर्ट मेरा घर है और ये मेरे लिए किसी जन्नत से कम नहीं। हमारे भी कुछ ख्वाब हैं जिनकी ताबीर को हमें पाना है।
आइए इन बच्चों के ताबनाक मुस्तकबिल के लिए अपना हिस्सा डालिए। अपनी ज़कात, सदकात, खैरात और इमदाद कोर्ट को दीजिए।
UK नंबर 0300 123 7774।
वेबसाइट court.org.uk।
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salaam Radio. Salaam Radio. 106.2 FM.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Salaam Sports here on Salaam Radio 106.2 FM. Welcome back to our listeners on Inspire FM 105.1 in Luton. Assalamu alaikum to you all. Just a reminder, we are on for the last day of the Premier League season today, talking about the big kickoff at 4 o'clock where all teams play. A number of things to be played for, obviously Champions League places, not finalised. Leicester, United and Chelsea all going for that coveted fourth place spot. And then at the bottom of the table, you've got Watford, Bournemouth and Aston Villa embroiled in what is essentially a very, very important game, probably the most important game of their seasons to stay up. You can get in touch with the show by calling 01733 602 133, text in at 07411 19 1062, tweet us at Sadat, go on, at...
Oh, you keep doing this.
I keep doing this. You need to write this down. Tweet us
at Salaam Radio 1062.
There we go. And then email us. Arif, do you want to test the email address?
Out as a clue. Studio at salamradio.co.uk.
Well done, Arif. Brilliant. That's so good.
Brilliant.
Nice one. Nicely done. Guys, welcome back. Arif, just before we went to break, you mentioned CC Peterborough, the cricket club, back up and running. Sadat, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it is. We've had our first under-13s game and under-15s game of cricket, and it was a great atmosphere. We went and played away. Didn't win, but that's not the main thing. The thing is that they've got up and going, and they're all enjoying it. We were at Newborough both games, and it's amazing. It brought me back, to be honest, to when I first managed the under-11s with the Iffy and how nervous I was. Yes, the football and how nervous I was, and it was extremely nervous just being on the sidelines. But the kids, mashallah, alhamdulillah, did really well. And
let's bring this into context. This is CC Peterborough. This is a grassroots cricket club set up for the community, by the community, and these were your first ever official matches versus opposition.
Yes. Yeah, so it was difficult. We had lockdown, obviously, and we had only one training outdoor before the matches.
That's incredible.
But, we managed to get the tops kits, so they were all matching tops, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. I think Arif and Ahmed will both appreciate this question, just because I think they know more about this kind of stuff than maybe me or you do. But what was the discipline like for our kids in those games? Obviously, they didn't win. What were they like in terms of discipline? I mean,
I like the way you constructed that question.
Did you like that? I thought you might appreciate that one. So go on. What were they like?
Arif, I'll tell you what, Alex, because it's a discipline question. I mean, Arif is great on discipline. Arif was there to come and support the under-15s, and you can ask him as, I suppose, an independent.
Go on, Arif. Tell us about how they reacted. I mean, they lost, which is always difficult.
Yeah, I think. Coming from where they've come from, and the fact that they haven't had much training, and the fact that I think even at FC Peterborough, it took us a good year, 18 months to get into the flow of things, and
5 years.
So there was a little bit difference in some of the the quality of the opposition and the way we played, but generally it was brilliant. I think everybody enjoyed this. The kids absolutely loved it. The parents that turned up and the coaches that were there, they sort of got involved as best as they could to try to tee up. But it was,
I mean, it's brilliant. Our community really does lean towards the cricket more so than the football.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we've got these teams set up now playing matches, I think it's going to be fantastic for the community. And I think the parents will wholeheartedly support it. I see they've got fantastic kits. All sponsored by United for Humanity. They really looked the part, the boys did, and it looks like they had a really good time. So I'm really pleased. My son's going to be back there on Tuesday. The under-11 start training again this week, don't they? So the first session is at Splash Lane in Castor this Tuesday. I believe it's 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Can you remind me? So is it 6 to 8? I think it might be.
6 to 8.
Yeah, 6 to 8 at Splash Lane, Castor. So if you've got any children that are under the age of 11 that want to play cricket, this is going to be starter level. They don't have to be incredibly proficient at this stage. Definitely just bring them along to Castor, Splash Lane at 6 o'clock on Tuesday and introduce yourselves to the club. That's great news, so that really, really pleased about that. Now, I want you guys to throw a curveball at me and ask me what might happen in the event of what happens with Villa? Because I've got this flow chart, which I am going to show on screen. So if anybody's watching it, hopefully they'll be able to see this. This is on my phone. Can you guys see that? Are you watching it on screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, I mean that's quite convoluted, isn't it? But this is my understanding of it. If Villa win, then it all depends on what Watford did, and if Watford didn't win, then Villa stay up. If Watford did win, then if they won by 2 goals more than Villa did, then Villa go down. If they draw, it depends on Watford's result again.
So all we can see is a white screen.
Yeah, image we won't be able.
You ain't gonna be able to see it. The camera's not very focused.
Okay, no worries. Well, just yeah. I mean, that's gonna be moving up and down. I think over the period of the next 90.
It looks like Ollie Gunner's half-time team talk prep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you mentioned Ollie Gunner. Listen, I think we spoke about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his job and whether it's safe or not. Me personally, I think you take Liverpool and City out of the equation because Liverpool and City, between them, they got 97 and 98 points last season. So they were so far away from the rest of the crowd that you have to take them out of the equation. And if you take them out of the equation, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's prepared a team that's going to finish potentially top of an 18 team league. So in my view, he's done amazing. I think he's done exceptionally well. Now there's an argument to be made that he needs to have bridged the gap, and he hasn't done that. But neither have Chelsea, and Lampard's been lauded as some kind of footballing guru genius, right? But they're essentially on the same number of points. So why do you think there should be added scrutiny on, say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer versus somebody like Frank Lampard? Ahmed.
Because it's Manchester United.
Not just that. I think it's because he's English.
Who's English? Ollie?
Not Ollie. Lampard. Lampard gets away with a little bit more because he's English, and the fact that he's starting up his journey in cricket as well. And to be fair to Lampard, he's done a pretty okay-ish job. I mean, so did Ollie, and I think Ollie just messed it up in that game in the FA Cup, where I think he should have gone for his best team. You've only got a few games left, and you play your best team, and simple as that.
As a United fan, what do you think? I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has he done enough?
I think I don't think they should be sacked for just not winning the FA Cup. Or where were they? 16 points, not 16. 16 points behind at one stage, and then they've caught up all the way to the final game. Still in the Europa League. He's done okay. I just think the argument,
keep Ollie at the wheel. Keep him at the wheel.
Between Ollie and Lampard, I think, is that probably Ollie's had more to play with in sense of players to bring in.
Lampard had a transfer embargo, didn't he?
That's, I think, is a difference in that sense. But both teams have been inconsistent. I mean, since the restart of football after lockdown, United are on top of the Premier League. If you go on the games, they're the only team that have been undefeated in the Premier League since the restart. But
well, I want to bring a regular contributor to the show and friend of the show and massive Manchester United fan, someone who's quite impartial as well, Bidan Ganguly. Bidan, welcome to Salaam Sports. Welcome back to Salaam Sports, I should say.
You get impartial United supporters.
Occasionally you do, yeah. Bidan, I don't know if you were just listening to that last bit of conversation, but we're just talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and whether this game and the result of the Europa League should determine his future. Do you think he's done enough, regardless of the outcome of this season, or do you think he still needs to get that Champions League spot?
Well, look, and I've been very consistent on this throughout you asking me this question, is that for me it's about the structure at United, and I think the structure is now in place, and it's getting, the sort of strengthening that particular, the ways of working, of identifying players and all that. And as I've said to you before, I think if Ollie does leave that job, it should be to move upstairs and not to and not to just leave the club completely, because that would just be going backwards. I think that Ollie, we know he's been brought in to steady the ship and also help out in terms of identifying the right players for United. So let's just say that we don't get the Champions League this season, right? I don't think that would lead to him. What was that?
That was just like a yay, assuming. Yeah, I think there was a celebration on the thought that you don't get Champions League.
Outburst has been waiting for 30 years.
Yeah. If we don't get it, then sorry, go on.
Yeah, Bidan, do you think he's good enough to manage? Look, when you've got top managers, Premiership against 70% of the teams, you put Sadat managing United, and I think he'd do well. But when it comes to the top, when it comes to the top games, look, the Chelsea game was one game that he got it wrong. He made a mistake. He got it wrong, and every manager makes those mistakes. But we're talking about Champions Leagues. We're talking about those games that a player comes on, he makes that little bit of difference. And you see that all the time. You see top clubs.
You mentioned the top games. This year, he's beaten Chelsea 3 times. He's beaten
United's got the
3
best
times.
result.
We were the first team to take points off Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool were on a run. They won 18 out of 19. The one draw against us.
Calm down to that. Let him do his answer, please.
We beat Tottenham. Obviously, they've gone under a bit of a decline, but they did finish top 4 last season. I think that Ollie has in the top games got it right. I think he's got a brilliant record in the top 6. But it's like we say. I think that one thing that's been proven in the past, definitely since the restart, is that past our first 11, we just don't have the quality. And I think that, again, this is a process. And I think that if we can get in the likes of a Sancho, a Grealish, maybe a Koulibaly, though my unpopular opinion is that our defence is fine for the time being.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, because look, I'm just looking at the numbers, right? Our clean sheet record is up there with the best of them, right? It was at one point, before De Gea started chucking them in again, it was only Paris Saint-Germain had more clean sheets than us in Europe. And I think that, again, it's our forward. We've conceded, 3 or 4, only 3 or 4 goals more than Liverpool has.
Okay, so just imagine, sorry to cut you short, just imagine Maguire gets injured. And you're talking about strength and depth. And you're saying you don't have that, and you're saying your defence is all right. What do you do?
Well, I take that on board. So, obviously, Bailly is like a bit of a liability, and he's also very injury prone. But I also think that it's not going to be that. I mean, obviously, no one can see the future, but we're more likely to suffer from breaking down a team failing to break down a team in a low block than we are to get defensively pummeled.
Yeah, that's fair point.
That's just my opinion.
There was just one question that I asked. I think, Arif, you might remember me asking this question at the time. I think you were there. But just, I'd be interested to get Bidan and Sadat's views and even Ahmed's views on this. I personally, I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got a Premier League winners medal on him as a manager. I don't think he will win you a league. Can you see him winning you the league? Sadat, what do you think? I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer taking Manchester United to a league title?
Even when they appointed him, I thought it was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction because he won a few games on the trot. I think it was good to steady the ship, but no, full-time, I think, I'm with Bidan, I think he needs to be moved up and probably a more Premier League manager needs to come in.
Yeah. Bidan, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like I said, this is a stage-by-stage process. We haven't completed the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer manager phase of the process yet. I think that it needs another season. Like I said, and going back to what I was saying before, we could get a centre half in, but this is Ed Woodward we're talking about here. He can only concentrate on one transfer at a time, and he only completes that on the final minute of the final day of the season. So I think that he needs a couple of transfer windows, Ollie, and then he messes up. Yeah, sorry, go on.
But you've also got, and I think the player that I'm going to talk about, I think he's improved and he's had that experience now. So you had Smalling probably coming back. I reckon Smalling could do a job for you boys.
Are you taking the mick, Arif?
I think he is. I think he might be. Ahmed. I mean, what is Ahmed?
I think to sum it up, and I agree with Bidan what he said, is that there's no one, when you've got the strong 11 starting that has started since after lockdown, there's no one on United's bench that could improve halfway through the game to say change it and let's get another player on that'll improve that 11.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring Ahmed in there. Sorry, Ahmed, what do you think of what I said about earlier about Ole not being able to win United a league title? Do you agree with that?
I think I totally agree with you. I think what's his name? Bidan, is it? Sorry,
Yeah, Bidan, yeah.
He was saying it's fair enough that you remind me of a team of Liverpool because we're fine. We were fine beating all the top teams. Players can get motivated and all are happy to be up there playing the big teams and getting a result. It's the teams who are lower down, and I think that's what United are struggling against. And I can't see Ole out of a season winning, and being consistent to win them the Premier League. I really can't see that. But then, if you get rid of him, who do you get? It's just a cycle of getting rid of managers. I think you've got to come to a time where you've got to back him, give him your full support, and see where it goes. Look at Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. Okay, he's a brand new manager.
Yep.
He hasn't been in the game long. Arsenal are going to back him all the way.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
But I think you just need to look at Zidane. Zidane went to he started off with the Rezis at Madrid, got his badges. The first season was pretty tough. They were talking about getting him out, but he's won 3 Champions League trophies.
But he's had the players there, though, wasn't he? He's got the class of players there who are capable of doing that.
What he's done this season is, if you look at it, he's sorted that defence out.
Okay, who has he bought? What transfer? Well, who has Real Madrid bought?
I think with the Zidane question, I think you got to take into account that they're playing in a league that has Barcelona, and you've got to be better than Barcelona, and they hadn't been for a long time until Zidane came in. So he's certainly, you're right, the players were always there, but he's obviously done something to just elevate the standard of the players.
What Zidane it's just him. It's Zidane.
Sorry, Bidan, go on.
Zidane shored up Madrid's defence because he knew that once Ronaldo left, they lost. How many goals is that they've lost?
Yeah,
absolutely. And Bale didn't step up, and Eden Hazard has been a disastrous signing, but he just shored up their defence, and then that seems to have worked because. And Barcelona also are in a massive decline. Their players are just like Messi. Look, Messi is obviously still doing the numbers, but the players around him, I think that even in that in that Liverpool game that they had at Anfield, you just saw that unless Messi is like performing, they just don't really. There's no.
He's the glue, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Messi's 33 now, so how long has he got? Because
Messi's like you, Arif. Messi's like you. We thought you
probably another 10, 15
We thought you'd run your race 10 years ago, and you're still going strong. So Messi's, I'm sure he's got a few years left in him.
But going back to that Ole Gunnar. Sorry, the
Go
Ole
for it.
Gunnar
Yeah, of course.
question. There is one scenario in which he can win the league, I believe, and that's the scenario where, if you look at what happened at Chelsea when Mourinho came in, is that he basically left that team. That team was built. I know that he was probably instrumental in bringing in people like Roberto Carvalho and Paulo Ferreira and other people, and Robin was already there, and there were players, and he brought in Drogba, who might have been identified by the director of football, whoever that was, or the structure that was put in. If we can sign the right players, or it gets to a point where, because when Mourinho left, right, that team continued to go on and be strong, and like Avram Grant was like 1 point and 1 penalty kick away from doing the double, but obviously it was United that did it. But it just went to prove that it didn't really matter who that manager was. Like, Lampard, Terry, and Drogba and Cech, that spine, they ran that team, and then they were, and I know Ancelotti came in and won the league. Ancelotti's a great manager, but they won the European Cup with Di Matteo. Do you know what I mean? So
I agree. I think a great manager will set up a structure that is almost like artificial intelligence, right? They react to the situation in the game, and then once somebody's done that, literally anybody, even a Sadat, could come in and get results. Sorry, Sadat, but you're absolutely right. I just don't think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that guy, though. Unless he gets a lot of support from upstairs, from people around him.
I think we are being
I think he's mainly been backed by Alex, isn't he? He's Alex, love child.
Yeah, so Alex is still involved in the background, and he's identifying ways in which they play and players that they potentially. So I mean, Bruno's been a fantastic signing. There's no two ways about it.
So is Maguire in AWB. I know Maguire's getting a bit of stick now, but like, and Lindelof, people are very 50-50 on Lindelof. Like, they either love him or hate him.
Yep.
I think apart from Dan James, who was just like not meant to play as much as he did this season, Ollie has made some great signings,
and brought in Greenwood as well. Greenwood
just one player. I don't like usually big up Man United players, but there's one player I've seen who's I think he's absolutely sensational, and that's Greenwood.
Yeah, Greenwood awesome.
He reminds me of a Robbie Fowler in the way he finishes, short back lift, left foot, right foot, header. Sensational player.
Yeah,
I think
he's absolutely sensational. Honestly.
I think he's got a lot more to his game. I really
next few seasons
Greenwood, I think he's up there, and if he continues playing the way he's playing at the moment, he's
he might even come to the champions.
Okay, I'm just going to bring it all the way back round now to what we were talking about at the start of the season, and I think at the start of the season, Arif, you said Liverpool first, City second. I think you said Arsenal third and Chelsea fourth, I think is what you said. So you're a million miles away with Arsenal. Bidan, you said same. Well, I don't know who you said for first. Did you say Liverpool first?
I said City first, Liverpool second.
Yeah, you said Leicester 3.
Oh my God!
I'm never going to say Liverpool first.
You said Leicester 3, and you said, was it Chelsea? No, Tottenham.
I think it was Tottenham. Maybe.
So maybe Tottenham's your. Sadat, what do you think? What do you think the outcome is going to be? At the end of today, how is the table going to look? Top 5?
It's going to be Liverpool, City, United, and Chelsea.
So United win, Chelsea win, and Leicester finish 5th.
Is that what you're hoping for, or is that what your heart tells you?
No, I believe that hope, heart, whatever it is, but it's not as if you're telling me that combination of results is possible.
Yeah, I don't agree with many things you say, Sadat, but I probably have to agree with you on that as well, Sadat.
I think, yeah. I mean, I'll probably go there as well. Bidan, seriously, realistically, what do you think is going to be the outcome of today at the top 4-5 places?
I think that I've got a feeling that United are going to win. I do feel confident. I didn't feel confident against. I didn't feel confident against West Ham. I shared Patrice Evra's kind of nervousness, but I think that we should win today. Their defence doesn't look too great, and don't be surprised if Wolves turn Chelsea over, because they've got to win it. And I don't think that
they're an excellent side.
Chelsea haven't been in great form.
It won't be a shock. It wouldn't be a shock if Wolves did win, but I just think Chelsea will win.
Well, didn't Chelsea get a big result in the FA Cup recently?
Yeah, but look, I mean, I'm not making excuses here, but that they had the 48 hours obviously made a difference, and Frank Lampard knew that, because what he did was that he had us pressed a lot. He just said, go and press them, they don't have the energy. And also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just made that as we said on our WhatsApp group image. To play 5 at the back has never worked for us, and he just he messed up. He shouldn't have done that. So but Chelsea have been turned over. They got turned over 3-0 at Sheffield United. They got turned over 3-2 at West Ham. Those are not. That's not the sign of like a great team. Do you know what I mean? I think that, and even if United finish 3rd, it's not been a great chasing pack, to be honest with you.
But you would take that. You would take that all day long.
Sorry, go on.
Who's the live games today on Sky Sports, guys?
Literally, they've got everything.
They've got every game you can choose, whichever one
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's on multi-screen, choose whatever you want.
Yes, because they've got like 8 different. They're putting it on.
I think the main game. I think the main game is United's game. They're putting on, and then the rest is.
We got Ishfaq Ali watching, and he's saying, don't be surprised if United and Leicester finishes a draw. And that's a very likely outcome. And he's saying particularly
find out Chelsea's result.
Yeah, particularly if Chelsea are losing. So if Chelsea are like 2-0 down at half time, it could be a boring game. Leicester United.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up a draw. Is she?
And then very quickly,
top goal scorer. Top goal scorer. What's the state?
Is it Vardy? I think it's Vardy, isn't it?
Vardy.
It's by how many?
I think Salah needs about 5.
At least by 5, is he?
I think Salah needs about 5. I'm not. Can't remember the actual numbers. But
Mane
might need about 4 or 3. I think.
I think I think, this is just from the top of my head, I think Vardy's on 23, and then the next one down is Danny Ings on 21.
It's Ings, isn't it? Yeah.
He's been on
so
fire, old Ingy boy.
2 goals behind,
Okay,
isn't it?
guys, we've got 50 seconds of the show left. Just quickly, Villa or Watford or Bournemouth? Who stays up?
I think Villa stay up.
Yeah?
That's for me. Yeah.
They got more to play for. Guys, anyone else?
Yeah, I'm going.
I think.
And if Bournemouth go down, Brooks is on the market, isn't he?
You're not bothered.
Yeah. Always a silver
If we don't
lining.
get Sancho, Brooks is the next best thing.
Yeah, that's is it. Ishfaq Ali saying Vardy's top scorer by 2. Guys, thank you so much for joining on the phone.
It's been a pleasure, thank you.
It's been lovely talking to you all. Guys, we've got about 15 seconds of the show left, so I just wanted to thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for tuning in, listening, getting your comments in, and watching us on Facebook Live. Thank you to everyone at Spire FM 105.1. Inshallah, we'll be back again next week for more fun and games, and we'll revisit some of our predictions as well. Assalamu alaikum.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
It's Qurbani time again. Who will you trust to fulfill this noble obligation? Each year, UK